I'm Nick Holt with Lone Star Speedzone, and we're at Thunder Hill Raceway tonight. We have a pretty unusual situation. We're going to talk to a young man tonight, that 14-year-old kid. Now, 14-year-old kids aren't uncommon in racing. Matter of fact, they're out there all the time. What is kind of unusual about this young man, and by the way, his name is Austin Self. You'll be hearing that name a lot more in the future, I guarantee. What's unusual about this young man is he's jumping into a Texas Super Racing Series late model after only competing in kart racing for his whole racing career. Now, this is a huge jump no matter how you cut it. And this is his first night in a TSRS car tonight. And he's going to be tackling some of the top drivers in Texas, if not the United States, his first time out. Now, in practice, the young man has done really well. He's right up at the close to the top of the speed chart. If it was just him in the racetrack, he'd already be a winner. But as we know, you get out there in a TSRS late model, and it's a little bit different story. So we're going to kind of track him. We talked to him here for a little bit. He's a very nice young man. He comes from a good family, it's obvious. He has a lot of support from some really good people that we admire. And he's really got all the pieces that pretty much in place. So we're going to have a little chat with him, and maybe with Marianne Nauman, who kind of discovered him and made a proposition to him. And, well, not that kind of proposition, but, a racing type. And we're also going to maybe even chat with JR, who's his crew chief and been around racing forever. And we'll get his opinion about this young man. So without further ado, let's go talk to the guy. And we have rather an unusual situation here today at Thunder Hill Raceway. I'm not sure it's really unusual, but it's kind of unusual. We have a rookie driver that's it's actually his debut in the Texas Super Racing Series. He is a young man that is only, how old are you?
14 years old.
He's 14. What's your name?
Austin Self.
Austin Self. He's well, tell me about it. Where'd you get your start?
Started around 5 years old in karts, raced karts till 14, and decided to try something new, and late models was the next thing up, so.
Next thing up? No, it's not. The next thing up is maybe a Pro Sedan or a Legacy or something. What's the deal here? You come from karts, and I'm standing here looking at this car, and it's not a Legacy. What is it?
It's a late model, super late model.
It's a late model, right? And it's very, very fast kind of car, and you run in karts, and I know they go fast. But how much do they weigh?
Around 320 pounds, so big difference between that and 3,000 pounds.
Now, one would have thought, just off the top, that you probably should have started maybe in a lower division.
I've never run circle track or anything before. We contacted Marianne, and she said, nope, enough experience racing, jump in a late model. Me and my dad were a little skeptic about it, but Marianne said that, so she's the boss.
Well, she owns the track, that's for sure, and she also runs this series, and I guess if she says you're man enough to do it, you must be.
Yeah, hopefully we can prove it this weekend.
Now, you've already been out there on the track so far, just testing a little bit, right?
That's correct.
How'd it go?
Good. We were able to pull off a few threes, fours, consistently 15 mids, and really close to that track record, and hopefully we'll be able to break it this year.
Now, wait a minute. You're telling me you're out there during practice and you're almost on the track record?
Yeah, we've been working hard just to get to this race today, so we're fast and we're ready to go.
Well, let me find out a little bit more about this. Hey, Marianne. Oh, this is Marianne Nauman. We see if we can get her attention here. Now, one of the secrets to going fast is that you have a good crew, right?
Oh, yeah. Heath and JR, they've been around for a while, and they know what they're doing, so it's not like we just pulled guys off the streets and told them to work on their cars. No,
that's a fact. Now, we got JR over in the back of this thing now trying to get something fixing the gas, I guess, and I know Heath Stewart's been around. I know he went to my suspension school one year, so I know he knows what's going on, right?
Yeah, he definitely knows what he's doing, and he's been helping me around the track, telling me how to drive circle track, and he's a big help for me.
I'll say it's a huge help because, man, I tell you what, you just don't jump in one of these cars and go as fast as you're going, man.
No, first day, I was pretty scared first few times I was doing it because all that horsepower, but, it's in racing, if you can drive one thing, then you'll be able to adapt to another thing. And I think that's what the main thing we had to do was adapt. And I think we figured that out, and now we have to adapt to the other drivers and race up front.
Yeah, racing by yourself's one thing, and being out there with a whole bunch of other guys is another thing. Anyway, I see Mary Ann Nauman over there, and we're going to bring her into this picture, and maybe we can get a little chat with her. Now, tell me about this. She tells me that they gave you a call.
They gave me a call. They told me some of his background in racing, and I knew of a car that was for sale. And I said, you know what? With his credentials, I think if I were in his position, I think I would put him in a late model, and let's see what this 14-year-old can do.
Wow, that's amazing. You know, I mean, the guy comes from karts all the way up to a TSRS late model. I mean, that's the top touring series in Texas.
Absolutely. I think when you start off in a kart at about the age of 4, you definitely got some pretty good credentials behind you, and you know, we've seen some good things happen with some 14-year-olds, and you know, I just think that I don't foresee that there's an issue here. I mean, I think we're going to see some great racing out of Austin. You know, yeah, he's a rookie. Yep, he's going to be on the racetrack for the first time, but he's not the first one to do that, and certainly won't be the last.
Well, you know, it's just amazing because he was telling me just a minute ago that he's already practicing almost at the track record level.
Absolutely. He's had quite a bit. They've rented the track and had quite a bit of track time, which has been great for the racetrack and certainly great for him. And the car came with a pretty good crew, so the crew's familiar with the car. I think that's a real positive step for Austin. And along with his driving experience, I just personally felt like, you know, this is the class to move him to. He's got just a limited amount of time here before he can move up into something different. And this was kind of a period in here where he could really get some good seat time. So I think it's a good thing for him. It's a good thing for the track. Sorry.
Sounds like a marriage made in heaven almost here. You got yourself a star already, and he hasn't even set foot in a real race.
Absolutely, and we all know that the rookies, you know, their first race out there, you know that anything can happen. We also know it can be good, it can be bad, but you know what? We all start somewhere. You know, even when you move from a super stock to a late model, you're still a rookie in a late model. So I think with Austin's past history and all of his accomplishments that he's had right now, I think this is a good thing for the racetrack, a good thing for the series.
Oh, me too, and I'm really glad you took time out. I know you're busier than a one-arm paper hanger here on race days. I appreciate you taking the time to come over and talk with me in Austin.
Thank you, Nick.
All righty, we'll check you later. Now, she mentioned the magic word here. Now, you got an existing car that people already knew about, and the crew came with the car. Whose car was it?
Heath Stewart's. He's won a few races, qualified pole a few races, so I don't doubt it's not a bad car.
It's a great car, let's face it, and you got JR, and we're going to talk to JR here in just a minute. I want to ask him about you, because he's been around racing a long time.
Yeah, he definitely knows a lot about racing.
He does do that. Well, we're going to keep our eye on you tonight, Austin, and see how you actually do out there. And I know Duke plans on capturing most of your race, and we'll keep an eye on you. And if it turns out that we come down and talk to you after the race from the winner's circle?
I sure hope so. It's up front. You know, anything can happen. My first race. Not saying I'm unexperienced, but there's a lot of great drivers been out there for a while, so we're going to see what happens.
Cool. Well, all right, Austin, man, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. I'm going to see if I can grab JR here.
Okay.
And, hey, JR, come on over here for a second. I want to talk to you. You know JR, don't you, Duke?
Hello, Nick.
Hey, JR, man, long
You
time.
all right?
Well, I've seen you. I almost just bumped into you a minute ago.
Yeah, a little bit.
Tell me about this kid.
He's young, good driver, and we've been having lots of fun with him.
Yeah, but wait a minute. You just don't go from from karting to a late model.
Sure you do. It's lots of fun.
And you think he's going to succeed?
Yep, 100%.
You kind of got me worried, I got to tell you the truth, because,
Why?
well, you don't jump into one of these high-powered monsters after you've been go-karting in a 300-pound car.
It's got a steering wheel and 4 wheels. What's the difference? Gas pedal, it's all the same, just a little bigger.
I think part of it has to do with maybe who's wrenching on the dang thing too, huh?
No, you got to have a driver no matter what.
There's Mr. Modesty in action. I know better than that, man,
No,
because
you got to have a driver no matter what.
that's true. You can't have an empty seat. But at the same time, if you have the best driver in the world and a piece of junk, he's not going anywhere.
No, he's not. You got to have a combination. You got to have a good driver, somebody can learn, listen, and the car's got to work.
Now, a lot of people think 14 now, that's brash. You know, that's like almost brash.
It's young, yes. It's been interesting.
Have you had to tutor him a lot, or what's the deal?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of learning curve. There's a lot of difference, but there's a lot of similarities too. So he's been a lot of help. He knows the driving part, I know the car part. So it's worked out real good.
Well, we're going to keep our eye on the thing here tonight. And if you can pull this one off, man, I'm going to be really impressed. And I'm already impressed. He's turned some fast times.
Yeah, he's done right well. He's a good driver. He's smooth. Got a lot to learn, but we're all right.
There you go. Well, JR, thanks for taking time. I know
right.
you're wrenching on the thing.
All right.
And we'll watch it tonight.
Oh yeah, everybody's going to be watching.
You bet they are. We're really interested, and we're going to follow through on this story because this is a story worth following. We're real pleased to be able to be here at Thunder Hill, and I'm especially pleased that I had a chance to talk to Austin today. Thanks again, man. I know you're getting ready. You're probably pumped up, your little nerves.
Oh yeah, first practice coming out soon. So.
Oh, you got to get suited up and put that helmet on and get with it.
Yep.
All right, well, good luck tonight, man.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Well, there you have it, man. We really appreciate Austin, and man, what a gamble. I tell you what, I don't know if I would do this. Would you do it too? I don't know. It's kind of a gamble, but I'm really anxious to see how these guys do it. I imagine knowing JR, knowing Heath Stewart, knowing the history of this car, and the guy really does have an impressive background in karts. I think he's won 4 national championships, which is saying quite a lot. So anyway, we had a good time talking to Austin and a couple of the people associated with Austin, Marianne, and we're going to keep our eye on him, let you know what happens. we said, we were going to follow this young man, and he, as you saw during the video, he did right good in the race, and we're going to talk to him right now. Hey, congratulations, man. That was an awesome show.
Thanks. It was a tough first race. You know, we led a lot of laps, half the race. You know, had a loose car, but car worked great. Other than a little loose on the end, on the back end in the center of the corner, but we were able to hold on to it and finish third.
Now, wait a minute. You held on to it all but one big lap. Tell me about that lap.
You know, it was on the edge for a few laps before, and going into 3, started filling back in, and that point, mid the corner, I was completely sideways. It was at that point where you're thinking, should I push the clutch in and, you know, start in the back, or should I try to save it? And I decided to try to save it, spun the wheel, and rode right up close to the wall, but we were able to save it, keep that third spot.
You know, I thought you were fixing to take part of that wall down, man. I mean, you were real close to that wall. You're kicking up dust and everything else. I think we got that whole thing on video. I'm going to check with Duke. Duke says, yeah, we got that whole thing on video. So we will have seen it already by the time you're talking about it. What happened to your emotions about that moment?
You know, there's not much you can think about on the track. It's just, you know, I made a mistake. Maybe I can make it up. And in that case, we were very lucky. It could have been a lot worse. We could have hit the wall, been done for the day, but I was able to save it. So, you know, everything turned out great for the first race.
I'll say it turned out better than great, really. There was a lot of people that were saying, oh, I don't know, because we kind of told that to you, too, in our earlier interview. Wait a minute, you're coming from karts and you're going to jump in one of these Tigers, you know, go.
Yeah.
And guess what? You did it, man.
Yeah, I mean, very happy with the laps I led, you know.
Barker's got a few laps under his belt, and he's won a few championships at multiple racetracks. So you're not talking about a slouch there at all.
Yeah, he's a great driver, experienced, and he definitely knows what he's doing.
Well, he waited. He knew what was going to happen,
Yeah.
and it did happen. But I tell you what, there was a lot of people that were really impressed with your performance tonight.
You know, it's all about the fans, you know, giving them a good show and letting them come out here and have time away from home and work, and you know, racing like that's what, you know, racing's about. So, you know, I wish we could have been a little higher, but we did great.
I tell you, you did really good, and I think the future's bright for you, and you've got a great career. You keep that head on straight and don't get it all puffed up, and you'll be doing great, you know?
Right. With a team like this, we're going to be winning.
There you go.
I know for sure that by the end of the year, this car's going to be on top of the podium.
There you go, man. I love to hear that kind of stuff. Well, congratulations again, Austin. Great run. Man, it really was a great run, and a lot of people were more than impressed. I know up in the press box we were watching this race the whole night, and there was a lot of people saying, nah, this isn't going to happen. This isn't going to happen. And guess what? It happened. The kid's for real. He may only have some kart experience behind him, but guess what, man? He showed himself to be a real pro out there tonight, and a lot of people are really impressed. Well, that's about it for Austin Self's segment here, and we're going to check on out, and we'll check you next time.